Let's get started in today's episode, my friends. What's up, Lee? Hope that you're doing well. You are just coming at the right moment because we are just starting the show. What's up, guys? What's up on YouTube? I hope that you are doing incredible and that you are ready for a treat, because today, as always, we're going to talk about the best things that you need to know about marketing. And today, especially, is going to be exceptional. Let me tell you guys, because what we're going to talk about today is specifically how to create a magnetic sales message. And what is a magnetic sales message? That's something that your readers, your listeners, the people that are watching your video or your page are wanting to get to grab, and they cannot stop themselves to read, to consume the amount of content that you're throwing at them. And that's extremely important, because when you're able to go that deep into creating that good of a sales message, you will get tons of customers and you're going to be able to have tons of people. If that's something that you're interested in, guys, make sure that you do share the live stream, because hey, this is going to be incredible. Quick introduction for those who don't know me, maybe. I'm Gabriel Julié. I'm the founder of CEO of Julihey Media and Julihey Productions, creating dope video content and long-lasting, evergreen online marketing strategies that will fulfill your business with a full pipeline forever. Now, let's go back into the subject of today's episode, the magnetic sales message. How do you craft that? You gotta first subscribe, guys, because if you're not subscribed, you are missing a ton of value. You are missing new episodes every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on YouTube, Gabriel Julié, the YouTube channel, make sure that you do subscribe in there. And if you're on the Clubhouse, make sure that you do ping some people. And remember, every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, your boy Gabriel is doing this live show. Now, guys, we're going to go first into the mistakes. You gotta not let those huge marketing mistakes stop you. There are a few things that you need to understand before going into your marketing sales message, going in there and really understanding, okay, what should I do? What should I do first? And you got to start with a hook, because every good marketing sales message starts with a great hook. And let me tell you guys something, and I'm going to involve you guys in that. Remember, you get an email or newsletter from anybody, pretty much anybody that's sent to you, or you're reading a sales copy, something like that. I guarantee you that you never read, or you read maybe one or two sales letters in your life fully. You pretty much never read an entire sales letter. Am I right? And I know am I, because that's what we learn in marketing. Pretty much 99% of the people are just going to read the headline, and that's going to make them decide, hey, do I read the rest? And reading is maybe like watching a third of your video at most, reading a few bullets, and they're going to take a decision from that point. So you got to make sure that each part of your copy is top notch. Whatever your copy is, like a video written on the sales funnel, you got to make sure that it's top notch, especially the first line, meaning the headline. The headline is the most important thing, because that's the first thing your people are coming in like, okay, you got like a third of a second to make them decide, hey, should I read this or not? And a great copywriting tips that we got is to make sure that we spend 80% of the time actually creating the best headline possible. If you're creating a video, spend 80% of the time making the best 3 seconds, 10 seconds, first minute of that video, depending on the length of the video. 80% of the time creating that first piece, because that's the most important. Because if they do not decide to watch the rest, to read the rest, but the thing is, hey, the rest won't matter. So you got to focus 80% of your time in that part of the process. From there, you can spend the rest of your time on the rest of the sales copy. But the headline is by far the most important. Every great marketer that you're going to listen to, that you're going to read some books, if you listen to the Gary Alberts, the Claude Hopkins, all those guys, Russell Brunson, any guys that has been doing marketing that was successful at it, Ogilvy as well, they will tell you the same thing. Focus 80% of your time on the headline, on the first thing that the people are thrown at. So it can be the beginning of the video, as I just told you guys, or it can be the hook basically. You got to focus on the hook. What's going to get their attention, grab their eyes, and make sure they decide to get to know more about this. And in order to do that, you got to use curiosity. Curiosity is extremely important. A great example that I can use is, for example, let's say you put a webinar, you're setting up a webinar, and an headline that will not work would be talking about what's in the webinar. Like, hey, we're going to talk about this thing, it's going to give you those results. Well, that's I would say great, that's better than nothing. But the problem with that is that you do not create some curiosity. But if I say something like this, my weird niche that's making me like $37,000 a day, like you're like, hey, what's that? And you see the landing page and you're like, and you got a picture that's a great way to do a webinar. You put a picture that like doesn't get like, you show a picture of like of yourself, let's say like doing a presentation, but doesn't give away what you're going to talk about. Damn, you create some curiosity, and curiosity is key in order to make sure your headline is great. Curiosity is extremely important whenever you are doing your headline, because if you do not create curiosity, opening loops, like that's whenever you are telling stories, in order to grab the attention of people that are listening to your stories using open loops. When you do a storytelling situation, the best way to start a story is by starting with the highest drama point. This huge thing happened to me. Let me tell you how I went to this point. You're opening the loop, creating some curiosity. Now people listen. Now people want to read the rest, listen to your story. That's exactly the same thing whenever you're doing some headlines and you're focusing on creating a great sales copy. You got to do the exact same thing. Create as much curiosity as possible. So you make sure that people are going to be like, hey, what's that? I want to know what it is. And they are pretty much forced in order to get the answer to what you just put it out, to listen to the rest, to watch the rest of your copy, to read the rest, whatever it's that you are doing. Do you guys like this? Hey, if you guys like this, make sure that you ping somebody to the room or you share this episode with somebody, because we do this every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, sharing some dope marketing content. Now, guys, I'm going to go deep into questions that I frequently see people are asking, and we're going to go dive deep into them so you don't have to see and seek the answers by yourself. So I'm going to go with question number one. Hey, what kind of hooks? What hooks should I use? For those who don't know, a hook is basically something that you use to grab your viewer, to grab the attention, a bait. So one of the things, one of the classical headlines that I can give you is how-to headlines. For example, let's look at the title of this show, How to Create a Magnetic Sales Message. How to do X. How to do X without pain. That's a great way also to do it. Really one that's going to work a long time. You do how to do desired results without the pain that's expected. All of a sudden they're like, oh, I want these results and I don't want to have that pain. How can I do that? And that's the curiosity I just talked to you guys about. The fact that they're like, oh, what is that thing that's going to help me get that results that I want without getting that pain that I'm used to? So I would I would advise you guys to use how-to headlines, maybe top 4 ways to. Also, other headlines that are working really great are like running attention, and you put the niche that you're talking to and some desired results. Always go back to desired results and pain. You talk about those two things, get this desired result without pain. You always gravitate around those things. Those are going to be working headlines and video subjects. Like let's say you don't have, let's say you don't have an headline, but you are starting a video. Hey, how to get this result without the pain? Also work the exact same way. Now, second question I often see is asked, how can I determine the best hook for my sales copy? That's extremely important that you listen to what I'm going to share with you right now. One of the things that you need to be doing is always be testing. You got to always have something that you are referring to, always have. I don't know if your eyes like did this, but I was doing chemistry when I was younger. And the thing that we always did is like we always have like a control. So meaning that we always have like something to refer to, and we were always testing. And that's exactly the same thing that you should be doing with your marketing. Always be A/B testing. You test an headline and you were like, okay, we have 2 versions, 2 different headlines, and you basically say, okay, which one is working the best? And your goal is to always get one that's always better than the other. Keep the best one and always see if you can do better. Always see if you can improve. That's something that you should always keep in mind, especially when you are doing large scale advertising. You are creating Facebook ads campaigns, YouTube ads campaign, Google ads, all those things like that. The best way to create winning ad advertisements is to have as many versions, variations, like different videos, different photos, different headlines, different text, different images, maybe different music if you are doing like in the situation of a Facebook ad. The best way to have a winning Facebook ad is make sure that you do like 100 variations. Then you're going to have like 80% that will not work. You cut them directly, and then you're going to see which one works the best, and then you allocate all the budget to this one. That's going to be the best way for you to determine what's working and what are the best working hook. And what's great with that is after this, you get data. and you're able to use that data for further future campaigns. You're like, oh, I see this headline working. I see this theme, this model working. And then you're able to use that directly and see if you can find something else. Or if you see that this model definitely works, you keep using it until it doesn't. That's extremely important to understand this. That's a great mindset to have. Now, last question that I often see asked, hey, how can I get ideas for my sales copy? And I'm going to go over a step-by-step process on how you can exactly do that. So stay until the end of this live episode to make sure you get it. But a quick summary, a quick recap of how you can do it is basically you look at all the ways, all the people that are already throwing hooks, using stories, the leaders that are in your market. You check out what they're doing. Okay, what they're doing with the content, with their email list. You should be subscribed to their email list to check out what they're doing. And then you see, okay, what things am I responding to? What emails am I opening? What ads do I look at, even out of your industry? So you can see general hooks, things that are working well that you maybe can twist a bit and apply to your industry. Always be checking out what people are responding to, and especially yourself. If you see yourself checking an ad, if you click on ad, one of the first things that you should do is screenshot that ad and add it in what we call a swipe file. So that's something that whenever you're going to create your copy, your sales message, you can always go back into that swipe file and get some ideas. But whenever you click and you take action into some marketing piece, always take a screenshot, the sales page as well, everything that you take action on, you screenshot it to see, okay, what are the patterns, what are the things that are working on this page that I can use in my own? Because those things are proven to work. And if they are proven to work, you can use them as well, model them to use them to your advantage. Do you guys like this? And if you do, make sure that you ping somebody into the room, because we do this every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Marketing Commandos show, my friends. And today, guys, I want to share with you, because having a great hooks is one of the piece of the puzzle. This is one piece of the puzzle, but there are much more other things, actually 2 or 3 other things that you need to use in order to have the rest of the sales copy done, because you can have a great hook, but if the rest fall apart, you can get that. You will not get as many sales. That's the most important part, the first part, but there are all the pieces that you need to follow. And I'm going to share those things with you in a second. Let's get after it. The top 3 things you need to know before writing a sales message. You have to understand that there are a few things, as I just told you guys, that you need to know in order to have a perfect sales message. A hook is part of one of them. And I'm going to start with number 1, which is have a great hook. You should always be testing hooks, making sure you figure out what's the best way to get your customers to pay attention to you. Use curiosity. Show them how they can get their desired results without any pain. Make it sexy. Make sure that they're like, oh, what's that? Bring some curiosity. Don't spoil what they're going to learn. Don't spoil what they're going to do. Make sure that they do and they take the next action by using curiosity. And that's one big mistake I see oftentimes. Let's say you are we often see that in an email marketing setting. Let's say you are in an email and you want to pitch, okay, I want them to go to a specific page, and then on that specific page, buy that product. And people often do the mistake of pitching the product in the email. And that's the wrong thing to do. You shouldn't do that. What you should pitch in the email is pitching the click to check out the page. So there, what you're going to do is a whole different approach, because people have to understand they have to click. And that's what I just saw. Like a few days ago, I just purchased a new program, and I reverse engineer, as I just told you guys, you got to reverse engineer what is working on you. And I was looking at the email and I was like, hey, what did this work for me? And I looked at the email and I had no idea of what it was. Like it was like, hey, we're going to give you a free gift of $8,000. This is a huge thing. This is great. But I didn't have like any indications of what it was. Plus it was talking about the desired result that I wanted. I was like, oh, curiosity. I didn't know what it was, but they sold me on getting the click. They got my click on the email, and then I went to the page. Now that you're on the page, your goal is to sell the next step. Your goal is to sell buying the products. But the thing is, it's a step-by-step process. Whenever you got to take context and understanding of, okay, what page, what platform I'm on, and what is the thing I need to sell them. In an email, in a Facebook ads, it's not the product that you need to sell. You need to sell the click. You need to create curiosity to the click to actually check out the page. And when they go into that page, the next step is for them to buy the products. And you got to understand that it's a step-by-step process. And you need to have appropriate hooks in order to have this. Now, this is not the only thing, because when you're on the page, you got to make sure that you create a persuasive story to make sure you sell them the thing. And that's extremely important. Because let's say you put them on the page, you have a great hook, you got their curiosity, but whenever they are on the page, not convinced to buy, they will not buy. That's extremely important. You got to understand that there are keys for them to buy. And I'm going to share the third key in a few moments, but one of them is actually having a great story. If you do not have a story that's persuading them, because one of the problems that we got, and one of the great it's something that's great and that's not great at the same time with online marketing, is that it's one-to-many selling, not one-on-one selling. And the problem with that is that in one-on-one selling, it's pretty much simple to get to understand the objections of the people. You're like, hey, what's your objection? This is this. You handle it. You check out if there are not other objections, and you're pretty much good to go. On internet, it's pretty complicated because, like me right now, I'm talking to a camera, I'm talking to a piece of glass, and this is not going to help me out to understand what are your objections, what are the objections that the people that are on the page that I'm selling my product on have. That's pretty difficult. So there is a different approach that you need to have. And that approach is the following. You got to take into account all the objections that your customer can possibly have. And I created a step-by-step process in the previous episode. I think it was 3, maybe 4, 5 episodes ago. And in that step-by-step process, I specifically talked about the 3 things that you need to handle in order to create a persuasive sales message. Listen to this. Let's imagine that the big thing you want them to take is that you want them to take action on buying your ebook, for example, your recipe book. Just bought a recipe book as well. And let's say you want them to buy your recipe book. So what are the objections that the people that will buy your recipe book you need to get rid of in order for them to buy a product? Because that's the only thing that's preventing them to buy a product. If they knew what you knew about your recipe book as incredible, they would buy it. The thing is, they have false beliefs that are preventing them to take the next step. So what you should do, you should address those false beliefs and replace them with new beliefs. That's how you make sure you handle objections without actually talking to people one-on-one and having an exchange. And there are 3 types of false beliefs. There are the vehicles, so false beliefs about the products. They don't, for example, in that case, they don't believe in your cookbook. They don't believe it's the best thing. Second, are internal false beliefs. So the beliefs in themselves of being able to apply the cookbook. In an example, maybe they are not like great cook and they don't think they're going to be able to apply what's in the book. Third thing that you need to handle are external beliefs. External beliefs will be external things that are preventing them to get success. So for example, in the example of the cookbook, that may be something like, hey, my husband really to use Uber Eats and I don't get to cook that often. And I think it's going to prevent me to actually create great recipes and actually use the book. So you see how it's preventing them to actually take action? Because when you are able to handle those 3 objections now, and they understand, okay, I can actually do that. And you handle that through storytelling. And I talked about that a few episodes ago. So if you want to know more, I'm not going to go too deep on that. Check it out. But the thing is, you got to handle those 3 self-beliefs, false beliefs that they got. You got to identify them first, being like, okay, I know what your false self-belief is, and I'm going to show you another way to do things to convince you that, hey, you can do it actually. And you got to do that in your sales pitch. That's the way you sell on with stories actually. And then the last piece of the puzzle that you need to have, and I'm going to show you my screen so you can see it, is that you got to build an irresistible offer. You got to make an offer so huge, so incredible, man, it seems like you're stealing from them. If they do not feel like they're stealing from you, if they don't feel bad about actually buying your product because they feel like this is too much, it's man, this is not fair, I'm taking too much from them. One of the great rules that we use in marketing is create an offer that values 10 times the value that you're actually selling the product on. So, and I remember a few offers that's really one of the ones that really struck me and I was like, wow, that's a great offer, was the one that I heard in one of the Grant Cardone's training call. And I remember he did an offer was real estate related. But the thing was, you invested $997 and he invested for you $997 in one of his properties, plus you get a whole course that's valued plus 15K. and other things. But I remember specifically that, like, and plus a credit to restore, like something really like stupid. You're like, man, like if I'm not taking advantage of that, that's pretty much stupid, because only the fact of you, especially the fact of investing in the real estate, only the fact of you being able to invest in the real estate that he was investing, which has like tremendous returns by itself, was like huge. Plus you had the rest of the offer that's incredible. You're like, oh man, like I'm ripping off that guy, you know what I mean? And if you're able to build an offer that's that good, you're able to create stories that show them that they can do it, and you hook them from the beginning, making sure they read the rest, they read the, and it goes back again, they read the copy, they listen to the stories, they actually get their beliefs changed, and they see your offer. If you do that, you're going to have some ton of sales, I'm telling you. But there is a bonus tip. There is something that you need to know as well in order to make sure that you do the best with that strategy. You need to make sure that you have a surplus of hooks for A/B testing and promotions. And that's one of the things that you need to always have. As I told you guys, you need to be testing always. And in order to make that efficiently, you got to make sure that you're always searching for new ways to promote your product, new angles to attack, new things that you can talk about. And that's extremely important, because if you're not able to do that, well, you're not going to get the results that you're wanting to get with your campaigns, whether they're promotions, sales page, and all that. You got to always be testing and finding new hooks, new ways to get your customers on. Is that something that you guys like? Hey, make sure that you stay on, because I got something that's so good for you coming right now. I got a step-by-step process on how you guys can actually make this happen, and how you can start today to understand what your customers really are clicking on, and not trying to test 110 different methods, wasting a ton of money, understanding what words they respond to. Just like starting to understand what are the messages they're already responding to. If you're staying connected to this episode, I'm going to share that with you in like a few seconds. So make sure that you stay tuned with that. Here is the step-by-step process. How to create a magnetic sales message. I see a ton of entrepreneurs trying to test out different things, and that's the way they should do it. Testing different messages, testing which one should work, A/B testing, and that's awesome. But there is a quickest way to actually get to know exactly what your dream customers are responding to. That's free. Yes, $3.99. And what you can start doing today in order to understand deeply what are the words that your customers are responding to already, so you don't have to test it, and you save a lot of time and a lot of money. Check it out. Here are the things that I want to show you guys. Number one thing that you need to know in order to get those results and create that marketing magnetic sales message. First step, subscribe to all newsletters, profile of the leaders in your market. You take all the guys that are dominating in your market, all those people. You create a specific email address, maybe a specific account, like not your professional account, because I can understand that sometimes it can be a bit too much, but you subscribe to those people and you see, okay, you subscribe to all their accounts, newsletters, and you actually check out their emails. So maybe like 10 minutes a day, that's all you need. You check out what they're posting, what they're sending you as emails, what they're sending you, what they're posting. And from there, what you do in step number 2 is that, as I told you, you check the ads, emails, content, and you see what people are reacting to and what you are reacting to as well. And that's extremely important, meaning that, let's say you're on Instagram, checking out their profiles, and you see like, oh, this video, it has like 3 times the views and the likes of the other videos. There's got to be something. You check out the video. You check out what's going on. Let's say you get an email and you see, oh, that email is good. I'm getting responded. I'm getting like hooked by that email. I'm clicking on the link. That's the tip I got for you. Whatever is the message, the sales message, the thing that's hooking you, that's getting your attention, always screenshot it. Always. Whenever you have an email that you get open and that you click a link to, always screenshot it and put it in what we call a swipe file. A swipe file is basically a file of photos, videos, papers, basically advertisement and sales messages that are working, that you responded to. And what's great with that is that whenever you are able to, like whenever you are writing your own sales message, you can go into that file and see, okay, those ads work on me. And there is a reason for that. Now, what is the reason? And that's actually step number 3. I'm going to share that with you right now. You model the same methods you see are working. So you're getting there, you check out, okay, that email is working on me. I clicked on that email. Screenshot. What is working on that email? What hooked me? What is the thing that worked on me this time? For example, I got like this week, I was going in my emails, checking it out, daily email checkout to see if I've got anything going on, any urgency I need to address. And I see an email and I'm like, oh, curiosity. What is that? Opening the email and seeing, here is our $8,200 and something gift for you. Check it out. It's going to help you get this, this, and that. That's the best thing we ever did. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, I'm hooked. Screenshot. What is that email about? What is that thing? Checking out the page. Got curiosity. And I understand now, okay, emails with curiosity actually telling me like, hey, there's something great, something hyped. I'm telling you what it is, but bro, it's good. It's going to help you get that result that you want without that pain. And I'm like, oh, that worked on me. So now what do I know? I know that it worked on me and it's going to work on some other people's as well. So what I'm going to do in my next emails, well, I'm going to do the same thing, create some curiosity, sharing them how that thing, that awesome thing that they don't know what it is going to give them X result without that pain. And it's going to get a ton of clicks. The thing is, you got to model what works. There is a saying by Tony Robbins. I don't know the exact words, but basically, the people that are incredibly successful, they're just the best at modeling what other successful people did. That's extremely simple. Whenever you got the mindset, whenever you got that thing that you understand, like, okay, man, like I'm going to go at it and attack like the goal that I got, whatever happens. Now, the only other part of the process, now that you got the mental figured out, are the mechanics. What are the actual things that you need to do in order to get that success? And you get multiple ways to do that. You can either try to figure it out, try to understand by yourself, seeing what's working, what's not, and it can take you a lot of time. Or you simply model what other successful people are already doing because they already experienced a bunch of things. Of course, I believe they also did take the steps from other people, other successful people as well, but they are already using things that are working in the moment. So you just got to model them. Do not copy. Copying is bad and illegal. But the thing is, you got to model what they're doing, take it, see what's working. Okay, what's the overall strategy that they're using? Implement it into your own structure, and you're going to be successful. Then you refine it to your needs, to your exact situation. But if you take the overall strategy and you apply it to your world, it's going to work. As simple as that. So you need two steps. You need the mental and you need the application. That's more some of the mindset stuff. But going back to the marketing and creating your magnetic marketing sales message, well, the thing that you need to do is that you go over, subscribe to all their newsletters, subscribe to all the content they're making. I advise you to create a separate email that is specifically made for that. But you do go in there and you check out like 10, 15 minutes a day, checking out the content, the emails they're sending you, and you see what you're responding to. And if you have the possibility, check out what other people are checking out too. Maybe there is a plugin on YouTube, actually on Google, that can help you out to see, okay, how many clicks they get from those emails. Or if you're able to get numbers on what is working as well, take it. Like if you see an Instagram post that's got like 10 times the views and 10 times the likes than usual, like you take it. You see like, okay, something is working there. And you basically try to like, you get it down. You see like, okay, what are the pieces that makes that content, that email, that sales page working? And then you reapply it with your own customers. That's as simple as that. So that's the best way for you guys to create a magnetic sales message, is basically to simply model what's already working. If you get good at modeling, you're going to get extremely successful. That's the only thing that you need to know. You simply need to know, okay, who are the leaders? What are they creating? What is working? How can I apply it for myself? That's the only thing that you need to know. So make sure that you do apply that. And if you want to apply that and make sure that you become successful with your business, you got to go and click this link, because what I do is that if you click the link, gabrieljulié.com/action plan, what's going to happen is that I'm going to send you a daily action plan that you can take in order to act and get successful with marketing. And it changes every day. So you got to apply it by the day, because it disappears forever after this, because I want to make sure that you get successful. So click this link, gabrieljulié.com/action plan, to get your daily marketing action plan based on every day's content I'm posting. If you guys did like this, make sure that you do, however, share the stream and share the room with somebody that needs to hear that information. So guys, now we're going to go quickly and recap what we just talked about today. to make sure that we go into this world and we do the right things with our marketing strategy and we grow our businesses together. Let's go into number one. If your hook is not good, nobody will buy from you. It's the first most important piece of every sales funnel, every great ad, every piece of content. If you do not have a sexy hook, if I'm not hooked to watch your video, to read your copy, to look at your sales page, I'm not gonna see your amazing story of how you convinced me to buy it, and I'm not going to see your irresistible offer. The headline is the thing that you need to spend the most time on. 80% of your time should be spent on the hook. 20% of the time should be spent on the rest. You got to spend 80% of the time on crafting the perfect hook as possible, because that's going to bring you the money. Second thing that you got to know is that you got to always be testing, always have a control and seeing, okay, can I compare that to the previous results and how can I get it better? And always be testing what is the best results out of the two. Next thing that we can take from today's episode is that you got to get successful, guys. To get successful, you have to model what is working. You have two pieces to figure out: the mental, like the psychological aspect of it, like understanding, okay, I'm going to go and have the capability, the mental, the mindset of actually going after it. After this is all mechanic, and it's like 20% mechanics. That's, you pretty much figured out the most important parts. The only thing that you need to know is, hey, what model should I use, and that's going to work for me. And to understand which model works the best for you, you actually do simply that. Check out what other successful people are doing, model their thing, test it out, and then you just refine it for making it work for you. But that's the only thing that you should do in order to get successful. As simple as that. If you did, guys, like this, make sure that you do, however, check out the GabrielJulié.com/action plan, because I do share with you guys every day marketing strategies that you can implement to your business to make it grow tremendously. GabrielJulié.com/action plan. Make sure you check it out. It's free. It's 100% free. Now, if you guys did like this episode and you had some questions, YouTube guys, if you have any questions about today's episode or any other episode, by the way, make sure that you go to the Clubhouse room, the Clubhouse Club, Marketing Commandos, which is that side, and you will be able to ask your questions, whatever those questions that you got are, whatever those questions that you got. Maybe you're struggling to get a hook created. Maybe you're struggling to get your sales page launched. Whatever is the thing that you want to ask me, I'm here taking advantage of this. Make sure that you go in the room and that you take advantage of that time. Or I'm sipping a bit of that water because I'm so thirsty, man. Oh, that's better. Oh, yeah. Hope that you like today's episode, my friends, because every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do share that kind of value. So I hope that you like this video. Make sure that you do like and subscribe, and that you share today's episode.